Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 9.11, and the German Reich is at war with the Allies. Okay, few things here. Wanted to start covering out. We are still trading with the U.S., so well, let's look at here, and we've had our first sinking here. So I have shifted these motor torpedo boats over to here and shifted one of the combination of naval bomber seaplanes to this particular sea province, if you will, to concentrate there. But looky, we've gotten a lot of sinkings out here of various, 3 there, 2 there. So we are doing damage. It looks like the French are out there trying to react to it. We very well may be sinking French forces. Now, because of that, they're reacting there. We're going to come here and react this way. Convoy raiding. We want to do this passively. Now in the Mediterranean. These guys are, I think of them as sort of secretly out there operating from hidden bases in Italy, just been sort of hidden, not hidden from the Italian government or navy, but from the Italian populace. They are out there and operating, and let's start with here. Convoy raiding. Again, the passive stance just really means that once you get a certain level of damage or lack of organization or whatever, is go back into port and you know, repair, reorganize before going back out, as opposed to sticking it out and fighting it out after, you know, winning or losing a battle or whatever. But even if you win a battle, you could be messed up, so that they will go back, and that's sort of the idea. So we're out here with our secret convoy raiding. Oh, and here we haven't got any sinkings yet. So let's I don't know, shift this to here. And again, we're going to do passive. We can get some there coming from the Americas. Okay, so that's going there. And well, let's look at the air war. We have a few battles, bombings. So, don't know what they were bombing here particularly. There we can see they damaged one factory bit, looks like. Some other air battles around. We know they were bombing over here. Don't know specifically what they were going after, whether troops or something to help the Poles out. Okay, and in the last episode, we called in Hungary to hopefully help deal with saving Slovakia from being overrun. Okay, yes. We move up. So. There. Good. Okay, and then let's shift over here and get across the river. Yeah, that's good. Well, let's continue. Yes. And they've accepted buying rare materials from Soviets. We give them money for rare materials. Okay. Go ahead and mobilize, but we're not gonna call you forth. Oh, I think we also have some more decisions to make. Yeah, other than just blitzkrieg. Okay. The 147th Division, that's one of these ersatz divisions. Yes, we want that. We'll go with an additional, I don't want to lose all those officers. Maybe we will skip that. Commando unit, most assuredly. We want that. More Brandenburger commandos. And we want to save that for getting ready for Fall Gelb. Let's look at okay, well, this is a very ersatz of an ersatz division. Some of these guys were really sort of minimalist sorts of type units. Good, more commandos. And these guys. Okay, so we have a full little corps here. We got 2 corps, I guess. Okay, cool. Those are there, and these are back at Berlin, so let's grab these guys. And as in my last playthrough has shown, these guys are, they sort of should be, but they're fairly weak units. So if you try to attack with them alone or whatever, they can really sort of mess you up. Now, we have talked a little bit about the, you know, what use, one not stacked or something else. Oh, these guys back here. Well, these anti-aircraft units are useless in defending the province. But if we see enemy air attacking units, you know, ground attacking, these flak units will very much help. So you have those stacked with units moving forward. They will keep that enemy off of them. Plus, of course, since these are heavy air, their piercing attack is 25. Their hard attack isn't great. Isn't as good as proper anti-tank, but that's piercing will get through a lot of the enemy armor. So they are useful. As sort of as they are, but you got to remember that they will shatter easily. Okay, we don't need to go there. There. We've already got that province. So we're going to come here. Deal with these guys. Okay. Heroic Tales, great. We've got that now. So that's affecting organization regain rate. We've lost that, obviously, to go to the next. Anti-aircraft upgrade, that's one of these. I forget. Probably that one. We're doing that. Medium artillery and medium artillery. We have more of these motorized support units, so we'll do that first. Now this is the Rally for Peace, and this should have, if Das G or somebody is watching, because this is a Black Ice event, you should have a check that if you plan data September 1st, was one day, began its offensive against Poland. If we don't, like we didn't, you should have this event fire as a standard rally. There's plenty of posters, and because I had all the stuff getting ready for this, but as a other party sort of rally. Does it happen though, of course? Okay, form the U-Bunks Raunum Bergen. Mein Führer, war is finally upon us, and our air forces are simply not prepared for what awaits them. They weren't. The War Cabinet recommends that we invest in building a dedicated training area for our pilots. I'm sure we can find some suitable area in the vicinity of Lüneburg. Like, okay, I'm going to go. This is this here. This sort of give it over to the Allies thing. Industrial capacity level 4. Wow, takes control. That's so tempting. Okay, you did give me 4 level capacity. Okay, well we're going to We're going to occupy this. I know they sort of want us to, and yes, we're going to say no, and lose the descent, and no, and lose the descent, which then now lets us to go down to this, consumer goods. I'm not sure exactly where we still have so many consumer goods. Give them cake, yes, Junker School, service by requirement, entertainment shows, 50 inches, face value. I think, okay, we can't go to this yet because, oh, it's at least 41, okay. That will lower consumer goods during wartime even more. I know the idea is that you have a, leave this to be Britain and then we just bomb it and whatnot, but we're gonna skip this and say no. Yeah, okay. Those additional HQs may be a bit of a pain. I wish there was a, well, I don't know. Okay, so we got so many moving down here. You're gonna move and you're gonna support that attack. We try to ping them while these guys are coming down to there. Oh, Iraq is moving towards us. Nice. And we've won another battle against the Poles. How shocking. Go up here, let's... They're already engaged. They're engaged there. Moving to there. Air order placed. Romania. Yeah, we'll accept that with Romania. They're all pushing in for Warsaw. Good. Okay, so we've cut off this section as well. Okay, similar to what's going on in the Army, the Waffen SS also has its photographic and sort of news service reporters who promote up the SS. That's sort of one sort of group of them. That would be sort of the unit size. Have these cuff titles, and that's I'm wearing one of the cuff titles there, but using the camera. So promote it, how cool the SS is to the German people. Okay, expander synthetic industry. Plies, well, we might as well try to do this early. No need to keep their current units. Okay, well. And what have we got there? And we are okay. You support the attack on Warsaw. So do you. You can start moving and attacking again, and I think yes. I want you to come right up here because there's another. Basically, once Warsaw and Danzig go down, they're done more or less. But okay, you're not attacking. Get attacking. You get attacking, daring. Get attacking, and you keep attacking beyond that. Okay. As well have everybody in on the party. Soviet Union or no, we're not lend-leasing. I guess Poland's already capitulated. Don't need lend-lease to invade Poland, Soviet Union. Armored car designs, that's very good. Cancel. Move over here to industry and yes, coal processing is the last one we need to do. And anti-tank upgrade. Things are super fast. Oh, we have the 7th Fallschirmjäger Division. Well, let's put you down here, get you starting to organize up. Now, let's see, can we get student in charge of you? Be around here. I think. Sussman, Bowen. I scroll past and not see him. Thought he was like a level 4 guy. Definitely not level 2. Where is student? Oh, is he like stuck in commanding some other boring unit or something? I don't know. Is he here? No leaders. We should have some leaders soon. They're well organized. Well, gotta find student. The reason I want to find him is so that we get, because you need to be basically fully organized up to do any sort of airborne operation, which of course makes sense, but there he is. Oh, we have 2 Flieger Corps 7th Division? Oh, this is one that I built. It just got the 7th Fallschirmjäger Division as opposed to the 7th Flieger Division. That's why I was confused. Okay, so we want to grab a different guy because we already have that. So this is the one I built. Oh boy, getting confused here. Okay, we had a few good guys here. Where are they? Okay, yeah, them here. That'll be good. Good. Get those ready for operations. Okay, well, we got that. Support that attack. I only took that. Now this was, of course, fortified, so that's why that took a while to get. Attack into rear to cut off retreat and or reinforcement. They're all attacking. Might as well move you guys up. How do you move you further? I don't know. No, you're moving up, okay. Just taking time to get there. Oh, another major victory. Oh, Warsaw there. Retreating out of their capital. And more units are there. Okay, Allied Mutual Assistance Treaty with Turkey. Great Britain and France won a diplomatic victory on 19th of October 1939 when their representatives signed a pact of mutual assistance with Turkey by which the Allies were given free access through the Dardanelles to Romania and Greece, together with Turkey's help in keeping the peace in the vital Eastern Mediterranean, although a protocol of the treaty provided that Turkey would not be compelled by the terms of the agreement to take action which might involve hostilities with Russia. Neutral Turkey would still allow access of the Allies to the Black Sea. The treaty provisions, however, that the conditions of the agreement would be enacted after Turkey would have received promised war materials, as the Allies lacked the necessary quantities of war materials to satisfy Turkey's demand. The arrangement was never implemented to its envisioned extent. Okay. So, this, doesn't affect us directly in that none of those losses are costing us, but Turkey is gaining. But I hope these events, revolverheld if you're watching, are paired with something that is for the Allied player. I know, well, maybe you're just really so focused in on Germany that it shouldn't be done, but yeah, just best to have something like this is asked for by one of the Allies and then have this happen, but maybe it takes too much time. I could see that if you're just focusing on Germany. players for Germany. Where I really intend TRE to be able to be played from any nation and have it work. Oh, good, we got our core command. Again, the big thing is towards the bottom there, 4 hours reduce between attacks. And this will 4 hours there. Once we can do it with a little more efficiency, we will do this one. Well, this one doesn't reduce times for attacks, but this one does. So we're very much. When will we get army? Okay, in 30 more battles. Oh, 8th Panzer Division, but we're gonna set you down over here in Pittsburgh. And okay, Rommel. Well, for the moment, you can have that, Rommel. This is sort of right here to check. He was the 7th Panzer Division, but that's the 38Ts. Yes. Okay, last real remaining holdout is there. You're moving up to there, you come there, you attack there. You attack there. You support attacks here. Well. Transports available. Let's drop that in with our other large transport section there. What is our current production cost? Okay, where it's just basically 18. Interruption in production has lowered our efficiency levels. Okay, the fate of France. Yes, finding ourselves unexpected at war with France, we must decide. Yes, sounds like a good idea, which will basically get the Vichy event. Who can solve that? Oh, you can. Okay, so you're gonna come there. And you can also, let's see, do that path. Run Lithuania. Okay, well, now that we've got these guys, you support that attack. I know you're just militia, but you're well reinforced militia. Hitler reviews the Wehrmacht in Warsaw. After a successful campaign of the Wehrmacht during Fall Weiss, Hitler demanded personally the entry of German troops, or attended, I should say, personally the entry of German troops into Warsaw in the marching order. The parade on October 5th, 1939. It was also filmed by Leni Riefenstahl. I didn't know that. Knew that there was a parade and it was filmed, but I didn't know that she did that. Utilized for propaganda purposes. Okay, so we gained +5 in popularity. That is good. And we have another one of these motorized divisions. Now does this? Yeah, it has an HQ. Good. Okay. Didn't know. Yeah. I think we're gonna leave this guy. Oh no, this is an air guy. No, we don't want to leave this guy. Oh, the tank busters went. What is? Oh no. Okay. Well, I'm picky here. We'll give it to Zorn, whoever Zorn is. Okay, well, we've liberated all of Slovak lands, along with the Hungarians doing that. And they're doing a paciful invasion here. Okay, convoy here. Okay, we've got high popularity, great. Which means more research. I do want more SSHQs. Well, let's look at our naval operations. Okay. Well, we've stopped any more attacks in here by either air or naval means. So they are now hitting us out here, which will reduce our national unity. Ooh, this was a masterful move here. We are really... What's that? And we have some... Oh, 6 of our convoys. Wow, 1 enemy. Okay, okay, we've got a lot of steel coming in. Let's look here. Go up to the US. Yeah, let's end this. We really don't want to hit the national unity. And we're going to continue to move most of that over to the Soviets. And this last one here. Okay, that will end that. Up here I'm mentioning Soviets. Okay, well we're going to take a bunch of hits to several things. Oh, you don't have much oil right now. You're at a deficit of that. Okay, but we'll get some more rare materials. Okay, let's just that for the moment. Okay, so we want to no. The 60th Infantry Division Field Herrenhalle. We want that. Okay, so form the 60th. We're removing the Landspolizei Regiment and oh, okay, this is, I guess we've had don't see him here. Yeah, that was what we just dropped down. These are the trains, they're still HQs. Let's see how much we use those. Yeah, we'll take this. And some production queue instead, so let's move it to the top. It's only 11 right now. May jump up as needs be, but okay, so these guys across the river, not that they really need to. Okay, well, since we have all of these and we're attacking here at sort of bad weather conditions or combat rate, let's swing in some air power to help out the attack. See how much that helps out. Okay. Well, it's taking down the anti-aircraft artillery pretty quickly. Support attack on Danzig. High popularity. We've lost very high popularity. Okay. But our winning of the war isn't keeping everybody sweet and happy and lovely and thinking that Hitler and the National Socialists are just the greatest thing ever. Don't you like wars, people? Is it wars that you want to do? Hitler said he was going to have a war in his book. Didn't you read it? Or you just didn't want to believe it? Probably gotten us. No, not yet. Okay. 11 more battles. Attack. They're already attacking. Okay. Battle going up here. These guys. Okay, well we've honestly we're doing pretty damn good. Okay, twin-engine fighter prototypes. Better Me-111s. We're not going to push ahead on that. Now it's 8 more battles. We've got these guys in their way. 41s. Oh, we could do these. Both of these will help out. Start with the first aid. Attrition losses less, and medium artillery upgrade. We're probably, yeah. We lost that very high popularity. Still high popularity, but hey. Mostly I'm trying to just sort of collect a few more battles here. Oh no. So that we can, well, maybe train up the units a little better and the commanders as well. But even more so just to get those numbers up so I can do some more research on better tactics. Of course, taking Danzig. Oh, we got Cardano, whatever. Okay, Italy, we would like some money exchange for rare material. Okay. Okay, Italy. We've got enough that you want to sell us copper. Sell the housewives' pots, go right ahead. You go there just to keep you from reoccupying that. Back into there. Okay, so we've just got a bunch of stuff happened because we won. Okay, Polish corridors happened to us. So naval organization improved, supply throughput's improved. That makes a lot of sense, especially the supply throughput. We have to go around to get there. So medium artillery upgrade has advanced. Good. We've annexed Poland, so that also gets us lots and lots of resources. And upgrade. Yes, we will take this. I like that air landing unit. Production queue. On the map, it's in the production. It'll take a while. Okay, so we've grabbed all of this in Poland. We have more leadership now, partially I think because of doing that. So we've grabbed Poland off, but I think we will be having an event fire very shortly. We would give them money for. No, we're not going transatlantic. Now let's look at the naval situation here while we savor our victory over Poland. Okay, as you can see now, the British are reacting. They're sinking vessels down in here. That is good. Ooh, what is that? 8 convoys sunk. 2, 4, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. So that's a lot of convoys being sunk. Of course, we're still sinking them out here. 4, 2, 2, 1, 2. So we're getting a lot of these guys. Well, ours are stopped being sunk because we are stopped sending them, but we are getting some British as well. And down here in the Red Sea, 2, 8, 3. Out here, 5, 1, 1, and 1. So we are sinking. We're out of. I presume there's a bunch of French convoys as well. We're kicking the guts out of their Royal Navy and Republican Navy. Okay, let's. Yeah. Okay, these guys. Well, let's. How big is this airport? Oh, plenty big enough. 10, it looks like. These guys in. Let's get it good. Yeah, tank busted. That's good. That's a good roll for him. Obviously, this is actually a different version of that same guy who was trying to horn in on one of our armor units or mechanized infantry, because we can use him to like command a Fleeger Corps or something. But we've got that there, so that's getting in preparation for going west. How are we doing for revolt risk? Well, okay, since we've annexed it, that's why we've got all of this. I think we're going to have an event here. Hope we are, or vision caught directing an event. Okay, there we are. Not that one, but Heimwehr Danzig unit. This is a, it was made up of local SS guys, and they shipped in, I think, about 3,000 other SS guys not from Danzig area to form this sort of militia unit. It wasn't quite the SSVT, but it wasn't quite just the internal security type militia type guys, so somewhere in between. Okay, we're going to honor the pact, so we will go with this, and which means these guys here. Goes. Let's strategically redeploy that there. Oh, what? How very interesting, guys. How very interesting. Well, oh, let's do revolt risk. Here we have greater revolt risk here because we don't yet, we're not occupying it. We've annexed it. Which really this should be an annexation or occupy situation with annexing there, but this is giving us, this is different. So we've directly annexed all of this, which will I don't like this mechanic, the way it works, and it's sort of random the way it figures it out. Because we will have this permanent, basically 2%, sometimes it'll go down like 1.9, but basically 2% permanent revolt risk, which means I can't lower, because it does affect the ICs, but obviously, well, no, come on, Warsaw. We get full use out of these ICs minus some of this other stuff, which I don't think we should, but I don't have the opportunity. Oh, and revolt risk does affect supply movement coming through, but I can't lower it by stacking more anti-partisan troops in there, so I don't really like that. Not the worst thing in the world for sure, but I don't like that. As opposed to occupying it. But what this has done is, because the Hungarians were a bit more aggressive, the areas here are now Hungarian, which normally would be, even though I guess the way it was coded, this did, well, or did they, yeah, I guess that was, no, I think that was just German territory that they moved into, that we had already taken. So they, since they had already secured this territory, they stayed. So since they didn't secede, which is, I have to look at some of the others to be sure, because normally this is the sort of fighting line here, the mountains border with the Soviets. I don't know about this province, but I think that normally goes to the Soviets. But now we're going to start with a little bit of, and I so much remember coming through here and fighting this city here and having a lot of troops, or a lot of units delayed taking this city going into the Soviet Union. And now that we're going to start on the border here with it, we're going to be able to cut it off quicker and run deeper through Yugoslav territory. So that is very useful. And let's see, well, unfortunately they didn't get this or this. That would have been nice, but if they had to get a little more ICs or resources actually. But hey, good strategic position. Did well. Hungary, if that stays, I don't know for sure. Okay, Soviet-Lithuania Mutual Assistance Treaty. The Soviet Union is a bilateral treaty signed between the Soviet Union on October, according to the division, providing the ally would acquire about 1/5 of the Vilnius region. We need to watch this. Okay, yeah, this is trying to grab up some territory from Lithuania. 5 Soviet military bases with troops established across Lithuania. The treaty provided Lithuania's sovereignty will not be affected. However, in reality, the treaty opened the door for the first Soviet occupation. Yes, Soviet Estonian Mutual Assistance Treaty Yeah, basically the same station troops in Estonian soil during the European War. Yeah, this, like we was talking earlier, when previous episode when I was analyzing the Soviet requirement um, to be able to move into Poland to protect Poland if Germany attacked, was just going to open a door to Soviet occupation in one form or another, and more so than just limited to stationing some troops on the German border or something. It would meant reorganization of Poland. Whether, and I say, because I don't know what it would have been. I suspect it would have been just like this. These are creating SSRs, the Estonian SSR, the Latvian SSR, or whatever, or Baltic state SSRs, or whatever within the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. That's what I figure it would be. But maybe with Poland, you might have had just enough real pressure from the Western Allies that may have had it more of a Warsaw Pact kind of situation, which is, minor differences between being directly occupied and not, but still it would have been direct control and loss of real sovereignty. Okay, Hitler addresses his allies. The politician Hitler appeared before the Reichstag on October 6, 1939. Over the past 3 years, each of his diplomatic maneuvers have been followed by such a speech, offering his own version of events, blaming his victims for their own demise, all the while attempting to placate nervous Germans and manipulate world opinion. Germany has no further claims against France, Hitler declared. I have always expressed to France my desire to bury forever our ancient enmity and bring together these two nations, both which would have such a glorious past. Yes, he wants to bring them together into one big nation under himself. Well, before this, there was, as you've seen, if you remember, an event that was a treaty after the Czech thing between Germany and France, agreeing to that these current boundaries are what both nations agree upon, that the boundaries between the countries. The Germany did have no further claims to any territory lost in the First World War. And of course, we know how much Germany really respected that, which was not much at all. To the British, Hitler said, I have devoted no less of an effort to achieve Anglo-German understanding, no more than that of an Anglo-German friendship. That I would agree he wanted. I don't know, well, as I've talked about before in other series, as conquerors conquer more, and this could be Alexander the Great, Napoleon, Hitler, whoever, as conquerors more, they get hungry for more conquering. So what they, Hitler thinks in, say, at the beginning of 1939, what he envisions the world being, I do agree that he did envision an Anglo-German alliance. Whether he saw that in 1939 as equal partnerships, United Kingdom having its sphere of the colonies and places, and Germany moving east into the great central Eurasia continent, or whether he saw that Germany is the dominant power and these guys are just puppets, I don't know. Then later on, once this war is going on and he's conquered France, he's conquered Poland, he's, conquering, I think he's now starting to envision it as a German dominant thing with a puppet situation for Britain. It changes. And had Germany put paratroopers into London and succeeded in taking over Britain, it would definitely have been a German dominated situation, not an equal partnership. So it changes over time. So I don't want to state that there's just one vision that he had, but he did definitely want an Anglo-German friendship, because his racial views was this Aryanism, and he saw, because it's Anglo-Saxons, which are German tribes, he saw these, and he also equated the Celts as, I don't know if he equated them entirely, and again, it's various Aryanist philosophers area. have enough trouble with theosophy, but Arianosophy, which is sort of coming out of Guido von List, sort of Aryan-ness and whatnot you want to call it, sort of stuff. How much exactly they equated Celts in amongst the Aryans. I know they definitely looked at the Nordic peoples, which are different, both ethnic and racial groups, if you will, genetic groups, maybe would be a good term, sort of a neutral term, different genetic groups than Celts, though of course he did not know that. They didn't have the genetics then. But whether he equated the Norse people to be Aryans as well, I don't know how he thought of the Celts, but so he's definitely looking at them as one of the, if not on equal par, because the Anglo-Saxons, however mixed their bloods may be with Celts or something else, he does see them as Germanic peoples, and though different, I think, than he sees, say, German-speaking Swiss. He doesn't necessarily see that they have to be, maybe have to be part of the Reich, but I don't know. It, may change over time. To resolve the whole, okay, I have devoted no less of an effort, okay, at no time and in no place have I ever acted contrary to British interests, as he sees them. Of course, British interests have always been to have a balance of power on the continent. Often it was allied with Frederick the Great, because Frederick the Great was a weak power, because Frederick the Great had a great military, but did not have a great economy or industry behind his military. As we've talked about before, they were an army that had a state that supported it as part of Prussia. Now, of course, Prussia grows over time and becomes more of a kingdom after Frederick the Great, and I just asserted, it's largest German kingdom, and I'm thinking, I thought the Habsburg Austrian kingdom was the largest German kingdom until they got pushed out of Germany. But okay. But once you push the Habsburgs out, Prussia is the largest sort of German kingdom, so it's a much more of a state. But even then, it's still a lot of Hanover and Hamburg and whatever, depending on, I don't know, I don't think either one of those are part of Prussia. Had more industry, and obviously the Ruhr down here, though Prussia may have owned some of this. Prussia as a kingdom was not a industrial power, but it did have this great military, and Frederick the Great very much wanted short, quick wars because he knew he could win those, potentially, but also knew that if it was going to be a long war and you're going to have high levels of casualties, he wasn't going to be either able to replace men, because he always had a manpower problem, and two, his industry wasn't going to be able to keep up with whether it's ammunition production or musket and cannon production to keep putting new armies in the field, where somebody like France, the Austrian Empire, Russia, they could lose a few armies completely and build more and come back at him. So if it was going to be a long war, he was going to suffer. So, Britain liked that, so that it was a counterbalance primarily to the Franco-Austrian alliance, the Catholic sort of alliance. Religion does play a part in it, but not entirely. Sometimes Britain is aligning with Catholic powers to create a balance of power. But they wanted this balance of power to be in Britain, and that's what Britain, and to this day, sees as its interests. And that's why it, I think, went into the European Union, to sort of help maintain that balance of power. But I think I think it bought into that, and obviously most of the governmental class in Britain did not want Brexit. But I think the European Union is doomed. I know, because Britain's still in the European Union. Most of the viewers, well, almost half, come from the European Union countries. You may not be, you'd be disappointed by that, because I know, well, many of you are nationalists, I know, that want out, but many others value it. But I get the idea of free movement of labor, but once you start, one nation within it starts importing labor from other parts of the world, which could be just labor from Eastern Europe. I'm not necessarily talking about labor from the Muslim world, though that's a major element of it. that once it gets in and gets German papers and whatnot, what's keeping that immigrant from going to the Netherlands or, Britain or Norway or wherever, and the job market. So, yes, because we all are playing this, we all sort of to some degree pay attention to paradox. And in that office, my understanding is, and obviously when they stream, they're always speaking English. They heavily speak English within the office, because they have a lot of foreign workers that aren't, well, at least foreign to Sweden, that don't speak Swedish. Though they do sort of hyphenate. It's English and Swedish spoken in the office. But I think basically all of the Swedish workers there speak English. And I think a lot of the people that are living there after some time learn more and more Swedish. But ordering food in a restaurant or understanding a cashier at a grocery store is different than carrying on a detailed computer coding conversation. So, it sort of needs to be in English. So yes, we have a lot of people that, yes, well, hey, I want to be able to move to Stockholm. Now, of course, I believe in national sovereignty, and I believe Sweden should have the say of who gets to move in there. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a processes that if Paradox wants to have you come and work there, that they go, yeah, sure, yeah, let these guys in. It's up to each nation to do that, and I'm perfectly fine with each nation figuring out whatever the target levels are. I'm perfectly fine. Now, sometimes it pisses me off when recently, Lauren Southern. I don't know the Austrian couple that got denied entrance, who they are and what they represent, into Britain just in the last week or so from when this was. But Lauren Southern, who's a Canadian, that's Commonwealth, but basically based out of America now. She's a conservative commentator, and she's been was detained for like 2 days in London. It's when she tried to enter and then rejected and sent out. I think that's outrageous. And one of the things they pointed to was sort of a little protest. Muhammad was gay or something like that kind of thing. And, well, it's insulting. It's going to cause problems. And she did that. And if you, however many lefties, and I know some of you are lefties that watch this, and I appreciate that you do. But her sort of Muhammad was gay thing was based out of another sort of major magazine or something. Well, Jesus was gay or whatever. And, well, what if you reverse that? Or what if you, what's going to be the reaction if you claim this other thing? And it was a firestorm. Not that she was saying really that she thought that. It's just, well, if you can say him, is this just you can pick on Christians, or can you, and will the media support you if you do, do similar sorts of protests? And it was sort of a, counter thought argument. But that's too controversial for Britain. So yeah, I'm pissed off that she didn't get allowed in, because I don't think she, in any way alt-right. I think she's conservative, which is different. But she's sort of a vocal loudmouth for a woman, conservative, bit inflammatory, but is not an alt-rightist. At least that's my understanding of what she is. But still, it's Britain's right to keep out whoever they want. And at least one time, as I was going to Britain, and I was actually surprised they let me in. I know I'm not going to go into why I thought they might not let me in. Over sort of similar sorts of things. Because I, in the past, have made contact with interesting personalities within Britain. And no, I'm not going to go beyond that. And I had enough knowledge that I knew that I'll just contacts, sort of meetings or interviews. Maybe it would be better, sort of an interview kind of thing with somebody, some people, shall we say, way back when, more than 20 years ago, long time ago. But then it was sort of my next trip back there, and I knew that had made, if you will, intelligence reports. So I was a little surprised that I had no trouble getting back into Britain. So I haven't had the trouble, but it's up to Britain to say whether you let people in or not. We'll go beyond that. Okay, to resolve. Okay, British interest. So yeah, hegemonic Germany is not in British interest. To resolve the whole situation and to address the lengthy list of additional German concerns, Hitler proposed a conference of European leaders. To most Germans, it seems that Hitler had offered genuine peace proposal. To all that remained was wait to see how the British and French would respond. The next day, French Premier Edward Daladier informed Hitler that specific guarantees for peace and security would first be needed. The British response came 5 days later on the 12th of October, and Prime Minister Chamberlain addressed the House of Commons. He cited the vagueness of Hitler's proposal and added that there can be no mention of righting the wrongs done to Czechoslovakia and Poland. Chamberlain also said Hitler needed to demonstrate his desire for peace through acts, not words alone. Chamberlain's response provided the necessary grist for the Nazi propaganda mill to swing into high gear, informing the German people that the British wanted war despite the peaceful intentions of the Führer. Okay, well, in short, the British, I do believe, and this is, again, more my belief than hard, cold fact, would have signed a peace treaty with Hitler. They would have. Once Hitler had gotten all of his troops out of Polish territory, and, this, of course, Soviet troops out of Polish territory. So if Hitler wanted peace with Poland, meaning not peace of the conqueror, but just true peace, yeah, even, you're going to, get your troops out of Warsaw, get your troops out of Danzig, get your troops out of wherever, Lotz or wherever, get your troops out and, free all Polish prisoners and get out. Yeah, okay, we'll sign peace. I mean, it'd be sort of stupid because they just simply build up more arms to get ready to crush United Kingdom and France, but I think they would have, because the French probably would have gone for that too, restore complete Polish sovereignty, and okay, maybe you could negotiate over the free city of Danzig or something like that, but get the hell out of Poland. They'll do that, and of course Hitler wasn't going to do that. So this isn't really a isn't that Britain or France really wanted wars and were doing it. It was just Hitler's intentions were not peaceful. Once you conquer somebody, that is not peaceful. So we lose a little more dissent, but we don't have it. Gains a national unity. Okay. Well, we're going to end the episode there. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you for liking the videos. I do appreciate that. If you haven't already, of course, please post questions, comments, suggestions, corrections. Love hearing from you. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.